What's up, y'all? It's your boy eBay Predictions to break some major UFC news. Some big fight announcements just has been dropped. I'm just gonna be talking about it right now. Two big fights, two fight night headliners. We start off with Anderson Silva versus Uriah Hall. Supposed to be headlining on Fight Night October 31st. That's a great fucking fight, man. I love that fight. These guys were supposed to fight, I think, on UFC 198, and it never ended up happening. Uriah Hall hasn't fought in a minute. He's had 3 fights, and no, he's had 2 fights this year, and they've been canceled. He had one fight with Jacare that got canceled, and another fight with Yoel that was supposed to happen on that Frankie Edgar Pedro Munoz card. And I've been feeling for Uriah Hall, man. Uriah Hall's just one of the man. He's one of those guys that in the beginning just could never really figure it out. It was all mental. He just could never get that aggressive edge. And I feel like in his last 2 wins, especially in his Bevon Lewis fight and even his Antonio Carlos Jr. fight, he really showed a different edge to him, a different aggressive side. You could just tell, even in the Paulo Costa fight, that he was just quitting. And he had success in that fight. If you watch that fight, he had a lot of success. And yeah, he just stayed in place in areas he should have stayed. He should have used way more footwork, but he just he's always had problems like that. But ever since that Bevon Lewis fight, I don't know if it was his sister passing away due to cancer. I don't know what it was, but something has been ticking right with Uriah Hall. I've been saying this for a minute. Uriah Hall has reached his final form. This guy, I could see a big surge coming up from him. And I think he has a lot to prove, and I think he's going to show a lot of people at the age of 36. Man, the guy, it's you know, it's now then or it's now or never. You know what I'm saying? Like either you got to do it now, or it's never going to happen. So I think he's making that push. I think a win over Anderson Silva puts him in a really good spot. Now Anderson, this is an interesting one. I don't, I've seen some videos that said there's a decline to Anderson Silva. I don't know if I agree with that. I think his legacy will stay uphold. I know there's steroid allegations, but a lot of those allegations, well, at least I think the first allegation he got caught up with was for Nick Diaz. That might just be true, but was it the Kelvin Gastelum one where USADA messed up and he was able to prove his innocence? And yeah, it was a good thing for him. He hasn't won since Derrick Brunson, I think. That was UFC 208. So, yeah. But he had a really decent performance against Israel Adesanya. I told a lot of people you guys are sleeping on him. And then I thought he was going to beat Jared Cannonier, and Jared made him look the age of 43. He made him look old. And, yeah, man, it's an interesting time for Anderson. It's like, why fight? But, he loves it, man. And I think he said he has 2 more fights or something like that left in his career. And I think this is a fighter he'd like to fight, a guy that's an artist in that octagon. And I think this is time to start appreciating Anderson for what he is, an artist. And it's been a fun ride with him. And this is gonna be a great fight, and it's an awesome fight for him. But the next fight that got announced today, awesome fight, Curtis Blaydes versus Derrick Lewis. This is the biggest reason I made this video was because of this fight. It is supposed to be on November 28th. This is an awesome fight. Derrick Lewis, please, can you please destroy this fool? For the love of God, if there is anything in the world, I would love for you to destroy Curtis. I am praying to the gods on this planet. Can you please get it done? But this is it's damn near a number 1 contender bout, in my humble opinion, after Francis Ngannou gets his title shot. Whoever wins this has to get a title shot. There's no excuse for any of these guys, for at least these two, to not get a title shot. Curtis Blaydes is obviously coming off a win over Alexander Volkov. Derrick Lewis is coming off a win over Alexei Oleinik. It's interesting. Derrick, his best, I think, performance in his 3-fight win streak since the Junior Dos Santos loss is the Alexei Oleinik victory. And I feel like Curtis is Curtis Blaydes' worst performance out of all his victories since the Francis Ngannou loss uh, was probably the Alexander Volkov fight. So it's a weird upswing. You know, I do think it is good for Curtis to go 5 rounds, but he looked like it was his first time ever going 5 rounds. He didn't have the cardio. Like, if you're gonna be a wrestler, you're gonna have that crazy output, and you get tired like that, and you're about to have a goddamn, you're about to faint or have a freaking heart attack over exhaustion. It's like, man, that's not a good thing. Now, Derrick Lewis, I think he lost to Mark Hunt in the fourth round. If I don't know, I'm not sure. Has Derrick Lewis ever been 5 rounds? Honestly, I haven't seen Derrick go 5 rounds himself, so that's also a real thing. But Derrick, ever since he's been getting in shape, it's so weird. Like the one fight he had with Alexei Oleinik where he wasn't in shape, he actually got the finish. But his last two fights, Ivanov and Ilir Latifi, whatever you say, if those guys got robbed, it is what it is. I'm not going to argue that. But one thing you can't deny is that Derrick looked in great shape. He didn't look in great shape, but he looked in better shape, and he had better cardio, and he could last in those, third round, and he showed some grit. I think one of the biggest problems with Derrick is that, he has a lot of heart, but he does get tired. But the best thing about him is even if he gets tired, he's still swinging. All respect to him. I remember when we had that Junior Dos Santos fight. Man, the guy was done, but he kept going no matter what until it was over. I think this is a great fight. Obviously, I think if you could tell from my tone, I don't like Curtis Blaydes. You probably are gonna. It's easy to guess who I'm gonna be rooting for in this fight, but I love the fight in general, and I can't wait for it. It's gonna be an awesome fight. eBay predictions is out. Like, comment, and subscribe. I can't wait for this. See y'all.